You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome into the Outspoken Sportscast here. This is your host, Brian and Craig. We got episode 129, Talks on Tuesday, 20 settled edition, and you'll understand in a minute when we talk about the Deshaun Watson news that came through today. We've got a plethora of information all over the league, all over the different leagues, hockey. We got football, we got basketball, we got a little bit of everything. So we'll talk about all that on the other side. All right, Craig, welcome in here. Before we get started into the sports stuff, how was your Father's Day weekend?
Good. Saturday played golf, and other than it being like you're playing on the surface of the sun, that was a good time. And
Sweating
Sunday
buckets.
I didn't do much of anything. I kind of just hung around the house and then went bowling Sunday night, and that was about it.
Nice. I didn't do much. I mean, Sunday, Father's Day and Mother's Day, we kind of just do the same thing for each other. It's just you get a day, you go do whatever you want. Being a little tight on funds, I just stayed home. I played video games all day. Didn't have to feed the kids, argue with the kids, feed anybody. I got food fed and brought to me, so that's always a good thing. But we had a good weekend and coming off vacation, so Austin planned it perfectly. Going on vacation with Father's Day, right on in the coast, and then I'm coming back from it, so that's not fun. But I'm glad to hear you had a good time. All right, well, it is episode 29, Talks on Tuesday, 20 settled edition, and we named it that because Deshaun Watson news broke that Deshaun Watson's lawyer says that Watson has settled with the 20 of the 24 cases against him, even though I thought it was 26. I don't know. Maybe he's not really counting the other two. I'm not sure. This is good for Watson. This is something that I told him that he should have done a long time ago. And this wouldn't be dragged on so long. I wonder what changed, though, because this whole process was about Watson clearing his name, steading fast to his belief that he did nothing wrong. Now that me or you, if you listen to the show, you know our feelings about Deshaun Watson. Neither of us believe that he's innocent. So just what has changed? What has made him change his mind? Is it the fact that all this stuff's come out and it's made him look so bad that he just kind of wants to get this over with? Is my guess. I'm not sure. It's just weird that all of a sudden they reverse course and they've settled the 20 of the 20. I'm going to call it 26 cases because there's 26 cases. They settled 20 of those. Still not sure what they settled on. That those haven't come out. We may never. I was reading up on it a little bit today. We may never know because the settlement might basically be those NDAs or that he had signed may block us from ever understanding what the settlement was.
I'm sure they just signed another
payout.
one. I'm sure they just signed another one to get this check. If they didn't have one in place already, there is one. When I'm gonna have you sign this check, and then I'm gonna have you sign this along with it.
Right.
I
We may
think they're
never
doing this.
understand it, but-
Oh, I think they're doing this because of the word coming out that the NFL is fixing to drop the hammer. Word has come out from multiple sources that the NFL is fixing to drop a year-long suspension on him, and he is trying at this point, albeit too late,
Yeah.
to try to make this go away. And he's going to say, well, no, there's only 4 now, or 5 or whatever.
Yeah. Let's heard
and-
about the other
and-
20.
Yeah. So yeah, and so he's still not going to admit that paying them did anything wrong. He's still going to say that he just did that so he could play football and move on with his career. But I got a feeling it's not going to matter. I got a feeling the NFL is fixing to drop the hammer by the end of the week, and you're going to have Deshaun Watson suspended for a year by the end of the week.
Yeah, that seems the way it's leaning. He's kind of just SOL, and it is what it is. He brought this upon himself. The
100%.
Cleveland Browns brought this upon himself. So I don't feel one bit bad for it. The only person I feel bad in this whole situation is Baker Mayfield still. And
I won't feel bad for him if he's the starter of the Carolina Panthers for the start of the year.
Yeah, Panthers, Seattle, somebody hopefully goes somewhere. But it's a little too late for Deshaun. I don't know anybody that's really going to be on Deshaun Watson. There's a guy on YouTube. He'll call you out on it, and I'm like, how are you standing up for this guy? I don't understand it. I don't get it. But a little too late. It's probably looking for a year. We discussed a little bit last week too that teams are calling for it. Teams are saying, hey, this has everything to do with the rules, and he has broken them. Well, you got to set a standard here, and you got to suspend him.
This is exactly why the conduct policy is in place for something to this effect, and they need to use it. They need to use it, and they need to put it in place, and they need to hammer him. And if they don't, then Goodell needs to be fired before he ever gets to the other deal that's going to get him fired. But
we haven't even sniffed those emails and the lawsuit by John Gruden. You know what's interesting? If you look at Deshaun Watson's case with 26 women coming out against him, possibly more. There might be more down the road. We don't know. Look at that and Trevor Bauer in the baseball, Major League Baseball.
Look at the difference between how MLB handled it and how the NFL's handled it. I mean, MLB, they got whiffed. They got a whiff of one lady.
One.
And one. Not 26. One. And he said, hit the bricks, you're gone. And he hasn't played in a single game, and he probably never will again.
There's been more women that come out. I think one more at least, or 2 other women that come out since then. But Major League Baseball, they've played the hammer on. The Dodgers treated him like he was a leopard, didn't want anything to do with him.
Oh, yeah. Everybody in the Dodgers locker room was like, Trevor who? Nah, we didn't have nobody in our locker room.
But the Cleveland Browns are going on vacation and letting Deshaun Watson pay the bill.
They're like, hey, can you bring some of those masseuses?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Oh, just bad. Very, very bad.
So that's the difference between the 2 leagues.
Yeah. It's shocking. And then, this thing has to be a year. If it's anything less than a year, we're gonna have pitchforks and up at Roger Goodell's office. 100%. Especially when you got a guy in Calvin Ridley that got banned for a year. Actually he set out for mental health issue last year, like half of last season or more. I don't know if that was if they forced him to sit out, and now he's going to be missing a whole year. And I'm like, if you don't come down and lay the hammer on Deshaun Watson and suspend him for at least a year, it's almost like saying gambling is worse than sexually assaulting women.
Yeah.
So they've got to make an example here. I mean,
100%.
and the NFL is known to blunder these situations all the time. They blunder the Ray Rice, like that was the biggest blunder I've ever seen in a PR thing. And
and then they hammer Zeke.
they
They overcorrect the other way for
correct on
something
Zeke.
that there no charges are ever filed, and he gets suspended 6 games for nothing.
Yeah, and that's why you need it in writing on if you
On
break
what
this rule
the
on this
standards?
and
Yes.
that, 2
Yes.
games, 3 games, 4 games.
Yeah.
That's been a big huge problem with Goodell and the way this has gone, but we're still waiting to figure out.
This should be the first case, to my knowledge. This is the first case of the conduct that's being filed by the arbitrator, not by Goodell. Goodell has no say so in this. This judge is the one that says what the penalty is going to be. So this is the first use under the new CBA. Under the new CBA, they took the power from, he's not judge, jury, and executioner anymore. They took all that power from him and gave it to this judge. So she will be the one to decide. I read her name the other day, but I can't remember it.
That is a great decision because not having one guy being judge, executioner, jury, all that stuff.
Yeah. So now Goodell, he just gets to present the evidence, and then the judge is the one that makes the deal. And then the appeal process is an appeal to an appellate court, not to Goodell.
All right. Well, more NFL news here. Gronkowski has officially retired from the NFL again at number 2. I think he's done this time. He's what else does he have to prove? He'll go down as one of the best tight ends in
until
NFL
Tom
history.
calls him in December and says, "Hey, I need you," and
that phone call would have already. I mean, the bat signal, yeah. I mean, that phone. I think if he's joining the beginning of the season, that he'd already be there, and that phone call.
I don't think he's going to join him in the beginning of the season. I think if they need somebody down the stretch run, if it gets tight or something like that, then he might join them late in the season type deal.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. I think that's the only way he comes back, and it would only be with Tom Brady.
100%.
But so and I say retires again because you just never know with both of them already backing out of the retirement. This had us talking some conversations. PFF's top offensive play callers list came out, and I found it pretty laughable. I don't know if you saw this or if you thought it was laughable. We'll discuss it here. They have Andy Reid number 1. They have Kellen Moore number 2. They have Byron Leftwich number 3. They have Kyle Shanahan number 4, Sean McVay at number 5, and Matt LaFleur at number 6. And I thought this list was laughable. Andy Reid, Sean McVay, and Kyle Shanahan, those are your 3. Top 3. There's no debating this, guys. Sean McVay just came off the Super Bowl. Andy Reid's a great offensive play guru, if you want to call him. And Kyle Shanahan gets the job done and overachieves every year with Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know how Kellen Moore is number 2. I'm not saying Kellen Moore is bad, but number 2 over Sean McVay, over Kyle Shanahan, I'm not buying that one bit, PFF. And first, let me ask you this question, Craig. Do you like PFF? There's a lot of people that like it. There's a lot of people that don't like it. Are you a big believer in Pro Football Focus is what it stands for and what they do?
I don't understand what they use, what grading system. They come up with these numbers and they're judging guys. And, I mean, they went through a list today and they said that Trayvon Diggs is the number 1 press corner in all of football. And
they killed him.
Well, he had 11 interceptions last year. He couldn't cover a fire hydrant and let up the most yards of any cornerback, deal. So he's just a do or die guy, which a lot of times he gets the job done, but a lot of times he doesn't. And he let up yardage and he let up some big plays and some big scores. And so I don't know what criteria they're using. Basically, the way I read it was, they took these guys and they said in a generic offense, not the offense they're in, not the team they're on, but in a generic offense, this is how they would play. They said that the reason they put Kellen Moore number 2 was because he's got a quarterback who didn't play up to par after the calf injury. He had Zeke Elliott, who has underperformed for 2 years now. Wide receivers that were hurt. This guy was hurt. That guy was hurt, and all that. So and still had one of the most highest producing yards per game offense in football. Okay, that's great, but we all know McVay. I mean, he was reading defenses for Jared Goff when he was the quarterback. He was talking to him in the headset up until they cut his headset off. I mean, telling him where, what to look at and what. So, here, I mean, that guy's just an offensive genius, just like Andy Reid is. And Shanahan, the way he uses Deebo Samuel and slots and different play calls and screens, Kellen Moore doesn't run any of that. He doesn't run, he's ran a couple of these, throw it to the wide receiver and the wide receiver throws a deep pass type deal. But other than that, you're not seeing any of these really special plays. You're not seeing, I mean, he runs an end around every once in a while, but the bottom line is a lot of people think that Kellen Moore is more talented than he's showing, but they believe in Dallas he's being handcuffed as to not make somebody look bad, make Jerry or make the head coach, look bad, and so that he's being limited into what he can use, and he has better play calling, but they're not allowing him to use it. So I don't know if that's the case or not, but I don't know Pro Football Focus. I just can't understand the criteria they're using. It just seems to me like every time one of these lists come out, you're like, well, that's not the same criteria you used the last time you made one of these. It's just
and they have the system, and no one knows what the system is
in
context of it.
Yeah.
And look, when people make a list, we like to dissect the list. Okay, I mean it's anybody. Pro Football Focus makes these lists, and that exact statement you just talked about earlier, where they had Trayvon Diggs as the best covered corner, press covered corner in the NFL. But his Pro Football Focus rating's bad. They killed Diggs, but then how are you going to turn around and give him the number one? It doesn't make it. It contradicts itself a lot. Kellen Moore I think he's a really good play caller.
I would say he's top five.
I would say he's definitely top six.
Byron
Leftwich. Have we seen enough of Byron Leftwich?
Well, because he won a Super Bowl. That's
Tom.
why.
I mean, that's Tom Brady now, and also you look at it the same thing. Matt LaFleur will never get the credit he deserves because he's got Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
I'm not, I posted this the other day, and my buddy Ryan Sims, he's your Homer Cowboy, and he's like, Kellen Moore's not trash. I didn't say it was trash. I'm just saying you can't put him above Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. In my opinion, LaFleur is better, but I'm not going to fight you on Kellen Moore being better than LaFleur because he has Aaron Rodgers. But
and then they put the defensive coordinator. They put Dallas's defensive coordinator too as well. And I mean, he had an okay defense, but in the playoffs they couldn't stop the team. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't dial anything up to stop Deebo Samuel from dicing them to death. So if you're the number 2 defensive coordinator, you can't draw up a defense to stop these guys from gashing you in the run department, letting up 130 yards a game. That to me is nonsense.
Here's the way I see it, because you're obviously listening to 105.3 The Fan today, as I was. But Kellen Moore's number 2. You got Dan Quinn number 2. Coach McCarthy's number 10.
Yeah, well, we all know that.
Y'all should be headed to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You should be winning 15 games.
No excuses.
But they might win 7.
They might win 7. Yeah, it's insane. And
then they're saying he's the top 10. He's the top 10 coach. And then they turn around and say that he's one of the ones that are going to be fired right after the Green Bay game. What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
How is he the top 10 coach and now he's going to be 1-5 and fired by the bye?
It was a hot take about if he goes 1-4, 1-5 and lose to Green Bay, could he be fired? Look, when it comes to Cowboys coaches,
I mean, if they go 1-5 and they're losing to Green Bay and they go into a bye week and the team's quitting on him, 100% he could be. Jerry doesn't normally make changes in the middle of the season, but he could.
I'm not a big fan of McCarthy. Okay, I'll say that. I think Aaron Rodgers made him the coach he is. Let's just say that. I don't think he brings much to the table since he's not calling your offense. He doesn't call defense. He's the walk-around head coach. I don't know what he's bringing to the table. His two things last year, if he's not calling offensive plays, is time management and
which he was terrible at.
Yes, terrible at, and keeping your team disciplined. They were the most penalized NFL team. I don't know what he's bringing to the table. So I don't know if he's a top 10 head coach in the NFL. He does have a Super Bowl ring, like I said, but I don't know. I do feel kind of bad for him, just because he's got his backup coaches that are right here over his shoulder that are going to take his spot. Dan Quinn or Kellen Moore will be the head coach of the Cowboys in the next 2 or 3 seasons, probably, if Coach McCarthy doesn't lead them to the promised land. It could even be after the season. If they go into the season and actually they fail, they win lose in the first round of the playoffs, Jerry Jones could be pulling that trigger, because he's got 2 head coaches that are sitting and waiting that he doesn't want to lose.
Yeah.
So I feel kind of bad for him, because he's
paying both of them solid, like almost head coach money to keep them there.
Yeah. All right, well, that's your NFL news today. We got quite a bit of NBA news to get into as well here. Reports broke that Kyrie and the Brooklyn Nets have reached an impasse, and with their contract talks, and Kyrie Irving will reach or test the open market there, the free agent market. And it's because Brooklyn Nets says, hey, you played like 30 games this year. We can't count on you. I'm not giving you a supermax deal. And Kyrie Irving is basically saying, well, then see you later. This guy's head case, I don't know how he can think that he deserves to get paid super max deal, but that's what he's going to look for. He's going to look for the money. It doesn't surprise me that he wants out, or he wants to get that money, or he's going to leave, and I think he probably does leave. And that if he does leave,
they've already said the Lakers are going to be the first team that they're going to fly the plane over and grab him as soon as he files for it.
Well, LeBron James is the only player that's actually kept Kyrie in check, and they won a championship. But with the cap space and all the numbers, it's going to take a lot of finagling, or whatever you want to call it, to get Kyrie Irving to the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't think that's
he'd have to take a pay cut. He wouldn't be able to get the max. Well, first of all, Brooklyn's the only one that can offer him the super max. They can, the Lakers or anybody else can offer him max.
He'd be leaving money on the table, leaving Brooklyn, but they're not going to offer him that. So
and then Durant has said that he'll leave if they don't sign Kyrie back. So
it'll be the biggest implosion of a super team we've ever seen. It'll be the fastest, right?
Yeah, the most unsuccessful.
But I'll tell you what, Kevin Durant needs to stay.
I agree.
For his legacy. Where is he going to, if he goes somewhere else to ring chase
he's going to join up 100%. That's what he's going to do.
Then his rings won't matter. I still argue his rings don't matter. The rings he has don't matter. He jumped on the bandwagon of Golden State, the curtails.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, he did play good, but he's going to play good anywhere.
Injuries,
Yeah. The first year there, he played good though.
Yeah.
But still, you join a team that lost like 7 games. You got your curtail. You need to stay there and prove that you can win despite Kyrie Irving leaving, despite these things, and actually win a championship without it. Kobe needed to win one without Shaq, right?
Yep.
He did it. LeBron needed to win one without Kyrie, or Miami, without Miami, and the big three there. He did it. His legacy needs it, in my opinion. Are you a big legacy guy?
No. Because the way they do the NBA, or the Basketball Hall of Fame. I mean, all those guys are
Well,
in.
the Hall of Fame
I
is a
mean,
joke.
it is. So what legacy? Like, what are we talking about? I mean,
I'm talking
we're
about
still gonna.
I'm talking about rings and legitimate rings.
I know,
not
but
not jumping on Golden
what I'm
State.
saying is, we're still going to be talking about Kevin Durant 15 years from now. He's still going to be in the discussion
Discussion of what?
of one of the best to play the game.
Okay,
I mean,
that's
he
fair.
always will
I
be.
didn't know if you were going to discussion of the best ever, because that's a different discussion.
No,
One of the best players, yeah, he's definitely one of the best players, and you can't argue that. I'm just
no.
talking about when you look at Dirk
But
Nowitzki.
even if Durant goes and wins 2 more on his own and takes it in the net, he's never going to be in the best ever discussion.
No, he won't. But if he wins
Kobe crushes that in a heartbeat. To me, Kobe crushes all of them.
I ain't gonna argue. Kobe's my favorite player of all time. I think he is the best, in my opinion, that I've ever seen play the game. Michael Jordan's the greatest, they say. I think I'm going to say that Michael Jordan's the greatest ever, probably, and then Kobe Bryant. I'll take Kobe Bryant over LeBron James, but I'm just talking about if Kevin
LeBron
James. Well,
not a Bron fan.
Me neither. That's why I'm not a Laker fan anymore. Anyways, I'm just talking about if Kevin Durant goes and wins more rings without the super team and can do it and prove that he was that guy, it'll be something. But right now, I'll take Dirk Nowitzki's 1 ring over Kevin Durant's 2.
To me, where Durant missed the boat was when he had Westbrook and Harden in Oklahoma City, and they didn't win nothing. That was the first super team before super teams existed, and they drafted it.
And that was a natural. It's not. You can't say, "Oh, you were a super team." Well, we drafted that. That's our hard work paying off.
Yeah, and you didn't win nothing.
But if Kevin Durant goes somewhere with it and makes
a super team, I think they had Serge
Ibaka
too.
Yeah, they did. I don't know if it was after or during, but
I don't know. I'm just saying.
More NBA news. The PJ Tucker to test the market as his 1 year in Miami's over. Milwaukee, really, I'm surprised they let him walk after winning a championship. They come out and admitted that they shouldn't have let him walk. Maybe they bring him back. I thought this was a perfect fit in Miami, but he played 1 year there and he's done.
Yeah.
So I just don't know if it's a chemistry thing. I don't know if Jimmy Butler ran him off, because Jimmy Butler, you either get along really well or you don't. But this is look. He's 37 years old. He's old, but he's a dog. I'll take him. I'll take him in Dallas. But I think.
Dallas.
Oh no, you don't. And I just don't think. He's like a little finishing piece to a team that's going to go to the championship. Like he come in and he can help you out, and he can be a leader, and he can do the dirty work. Is what kind of guy he is, the hard physical work. But I think he goes back to Milwaukee. But
probably that would be the smart idea. The offense, the players, everybody.
Well, it came out today that the Lakers have offered a trade that would send Westbrook, THT, and the 2026 first-round pick to the Pacers for Malcolm Brogdon, and the Pacers said, no, thank you. This goes back on what Lakers said. Lakers said, we're going to keep Russell Westbrook, and now looks like they're willing to trade him if the right pieces are in play.
Nobody wants that contract.
No one wants that contract. No one wants a player that doesn't play well with others. And last year when the Lakers got Westbrook, I was the only Laker fan going, this is not going to work. It's not going to work.
No, I said that as soon as he
and everyone said, oh, it's the best thing ever. And it turned out to be a big dog crap. Now, I think publicly LeBron James is saying, yeah, we want Westbrook. Behind the scenes, he's like, please trade this guy. We can't work with him. So you see these trade rumors going around, but the Lakers come out publicly saying we're going to run it back with Russell Westbrook there. It would have been a good get for him, I think, getting Malcolm Brogdon from the Pacers. I'm probably butchering that last name, but he's a solid piece. I just don't know what they're going to be able to do with their cap
Yeah,
salary, cap space, and
Brogdon would have been a good fit over there, but I mean, I personally think the guy they really need to get rid of is street clothes over there. Anthony Davis, that's the guy they need to get rid of. He's on the bench more than he is on the floor, and he doesn't fit in the offense. And
doesn't fit in the offense.
I just don't. I mean, the Lakers don't run the Lakers don't run your Phil Jackson triangle. Get the ball to the post. Everybody touches the ball. They're running the off wing. Picking, they don't even do pick and rolls with him. I mean, Anthony Davis is a clear pick and roll guy, and you're not running those. LeBron James isn't a pick and roll guy. So
it's been so long since I've seen Anthony Davis play, but to me, and I had this argument when I was a Laker fan, Anthony Davis is their number one player. LeBron James is not, to me, is not the number one player. He's not the guy that's going to take over.
Time has knocked on LeBron James's door, and he just refuses to admit it.
When Anthony Davis is healthy and playing, he's the guy that gets the team rolling. He's the guy. He's the oil to the machine. I think their better off bet is to trade LeBron and get a couple pieces from him. But he's old. He's super old. He's still putting up numbers. He's still a good basketball player. I just don't know what I mean, here's a guy I don't want to get into LeBron James. I don't have enough time for that on this episode. I think Anthony Davis is the guy that makes that team go. And LeBron is coming, getting close to the end, and we'll see if he's there. This is a guy that's openly talked about playing on other teams during the season. He could care less, and that's kind of the reason
he isn't signing an extension with him.
Yeah, and that's kind of the reason that I'm no longer a Laker fan, but that's a different story. Or it goes into that. But anyways, well, the Lightning bounced back in hockey. Game 3 the other night. They bounced back 6-2. These games, besides game 1, have been just atrocious blowouts. Game 2 was 7-0. Lightning bounced back in game 2. Do they have enough, though, to keep up with Colorado? Because what I've seen from Colorado, Craig, they are playing on a different atmosphere the first 2 games than Lightning.
I was disappointed in game 1 because I thought Tampa had the upper hand with Colorado having 10 days off. The long, rink rust. You can only go so hard in practice. You can't really get a game feel in practice. You can go as hard as you can, but you just can't get the game atmosphere, crowd, everything like that. So I really thought Tampa blew an opportunity there. In game 2, I thought they were done. I thought they used up every ounce of strength they had to get past the Rangers, and they're done. And last night they showed a little bit of life, but I mean, really, if you look at it, they should have been down 2-0, but they challenged a questionable offsides, could have really gone either way, and the refs waved that off. And then that kind of gave the Lightning what they needed because when you challenge a play in hockey and you lose, it's a power play for the other team, and they take the power play and turn it into a goal, and off they win. So if that challenge doesn't get made, or if that challenge is upheld, it's 2-0 Colorado, and they're not on the power play. Instead, it's 1-0 Colorado, and the Lightning are on the power play. And the Lightning take that power play and put it in the net, and off they go, and it lights their offense. And so that could be a changing call in the whole game. But Colorado at home isn't going to lose. They appear to be in another stratosphere.
They are they're Lightning at home.
And so I mean, I think obviously the Lightning are in another must-win game tomorrow night, and we'll go from there. But I just Tampa to me has looked sluggish the first 2 games. They looked better last night, They looked very lackadaisical. Tampa is normally a very crisp tape to tape to tape passing, move the puck, protect the puck, and they didn't do any of that in game two. In game two, they were sloppy, they were lazy, they were lackadaisical. Nobody got back on defense, and basically Colorado just fired the puck at Vasilevsky, and he had no. Every time you look, like I was talking about with the Stars game. Here's poor Ottinger back here. He's like, guys, I'm facing 70 shots. He's like, I can't. Nobody's in front of me. There's no traffic in front of the net. Nothing. And so you've got to be able to run these guys off. You've got to have some defensemen in front to keep the Colorado from being able to get easy second chance rebounds. And they didn't do any of that. They didn't forecheck. They didn't play in front of the net. They didn't do any of that. The things that are key to help you win, Tampa did none of them the first two games.
Yeah, watching it seemed like it was seemed like it was a NHL team versus a college team. They were
Colorado looked light years ahead of them.
Oh yeah, they were lightning fast. They seemed like they were too fast, and Lightning couldn't keep up. And it happened. It was all night long.
And that's why I said that I thought that Tampa maybe used all their energy to get past New York. But we'll see.
We'll see if they can win the game 4 coming up. Then we're back into a series here before it goes back to Colorado. A bit, the first game was super great. Colorado went up 3-1. I was like, okay, well, Colorado's putting it on them. Lightning come back. It goes to overtime, and they make a bad turnover. In game 2, it was 4-0. I turned it off. I came back to it 7-0. I'm like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
And it was kind of over from there. But I'm glad Lightning won game 3 because at that point it's kind of like, all right, well, let's just go. It's basically over. But
it would have been had they gone down 3-0 to Colorado.
Oh, yeah, there's no coming back from that. Well, some more hockey news today. Stars make it official and hired Pete DeBoer to replace Bonus as a head coach. He's former coach of the Vegas Knights, the Devils, and the Sharks. And do you like this move, Craig? I want you to go first.
I do. I love it because here's a guy who took an expansion team and took him to the Cup the first year. He's taken the Devils and the Sharks to the Stanley Cup. He's won everywhere he's gone. Now he is quick to change goalies. The way he handled his netminders that's what got him run out of Vegas. Is he just quick and plug and play goalies? But in Texas or in Dallas, you just don't have that option really. Ottinger's really your only mainstay. Now you might have another rookie coming up and whatever, but Ottinger's the guy. He's your guy, and he proved himself in the playoffs, and I just think this guy is going to be the voice that you need. I mean, Bonus was never supposed to be the guy. He was never supposed to be the guy. He was an interim deal. He took over for Monty for that whole dumpster fire where we're drinking on the road and whatever happened there. And Bonus was never supposed to be the guy, but he made some magical bubble run. And, if they lose to Calgary, which they were 30 seconds from doing before they pulled their goalie and come up with a miracle goal and win a game in double overtime and steal the series. If they lose to Calgary, Bonus is never the head coach. He gets fired. They remove the interim tag. He gets fired and on about their day. And probably they have a better coach to deal. There's a lot of people that don't like this move because this guy's been fired 4 times in the last decade. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But this guy has got skins on the wall. He's proven to win everywhere he's gone. He's won everywhere he's gone. And if he wins and then Dallas takes a turn for the worse, well, then get rid of him.
Has he won championships?
No, that's the thing. He's gotten them there, but he's never really won anything. But I'd rather be there and be in the discussion than I would be being eliminated in the first round or having it. Dallas made the playoffs for the next to last day of the season. Like,
Yeah, this wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, it was.
I mean, they
By
weren't
the,
they weren't like the number one seed here. They kind of backed in the last month of the season. They had a huge lead. The last month of the season, they played so horrible that they almost blew the huge lead they had. I mean, in the middle of the season, they won 9 games straight and started to run away with this thing. And all of a sudden, they couldn't find their offense. They couldn't score any goals. They couldn't stop anybody. You know, so I think DeBoer. I mean, look at what Vegas has done. Vegas has been a powerhouse ever since they hit the NHL, and that was the guy running the franchise.
now, see, everything I've read on it or heard about it is that it's an average hire. He's been fired 4 times. The teams he takes over goes usually that first year to the Western Finals or to the. But
Yeah.
is that his team? They seem to make it like it's not his. He took over for somebody that's their team, and then when he takes over, it kind of goes away. So I don't know when you.
This was the first year that Vegas didn't make the playoffs since he was there.
Yeah, when I hear the words, well, my concern is fired 4 times since 2011. That's a concern. But when you hear in the pro is that he took an expansion team to the Stanley Cup, his first year with them.
Now my concern
that's a
my concern with that is he had a hand in all the personnel. Like when you get an expansion team, he had a hand in drafting all them guys. So does Dallas have the right kind of talent to play Peter DeBoer hockey? That's the question that you have to answer. This guy has a certain way of playing, a certain mindset of playing, and does Dallas have the right players to play DeBoer hockey? And I don't know if they do or not. Because Vegas like to play fast, Vegas like to play up in your face, Vegas like to hit people, and that's something Dallas has never really done. Dallas is more of a laid back, tape to tape to tape to tape, not now I believe they have the speed in Robertson and Kovunemi and all these guys that TV Ranta, all these guys, they have the ability to play that, but I don't know if Heiskanen, I mean, those guys are all speed. Those guys are all the way that Vegas plays. I'm very interested to see what the Dallas Stars do next year. I don't think if they're unsuccessful right away, I don't think this will be a long hire. I think it'll be quick to get rid of him if it doesn't work. But it's a safe hire. It's the guy who's had success everywhere he's been. He hasn't had an extended period of success, but he has had success everywhere he's been.
All right. Well, I know when it happened, I saw that you really liked it on Facebook, and then I go to 105.3 the next day, and they're talking that it's just average and this, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. So I'm interested to see. Look, I'm not gonna sit on here and act like a hockey expert. I'm gonna jump more into Dallas or into hockey this coming up season. I jumped into the Dallas Stars in the playoffs, but interested to see what the new coaches going to do and what this team's going to look like into next season. We got a couple more things maybe here. We got I saw this. You sent it to me the other day. I saw it on ESPN or as TikTok or something as well. But it's a crazy stat in Major League Baseball. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. through 403 Major League Baseball games has 87 home runs and an on-base percentage of .363. Well, his father, Vlad Sr., through 403 games, has these same exact numbers: 87 home runs and 363 on base percentage. So that's, I mean, has that ever been done?
No, I don't.
Has that ever been done with father and son?
No.
Exactly. It's insane. it's insanity there.
To have it close or to have it within a couple points, but to have the exact same stat line after the exact same number of games, you can't something you can't even make up.
Yeah, it's insane. It's getting struck by lightning, or maybe even less than that as far as odds go. That's all we got as headlines go. I did see real quick here. Ryan Fitzpatrick Fitzmagic will join the Amazon Thursday night coverage. So that's going to be interesting to see him. And
everybody's trying to get their Romo.
Yeah, he's a character too. I think he might bring a fun part. He'll be that fun guy in the booth.
Yeah.
He'll be wearing those. He'll probably have the V-neck going on with the hair.
Oh yeah. Canes everywhere.
Yeah, he likes to play
the aviator sunglasses on.
I believe Texas has been eliminated from the college.
They sure have.
Baseball.
A&M eliminated them the other day. A&M has now got to play Notre Dame, I believe. And
I think. Oh, let's see. Let me look it up. You keep talking about it.
Yeah, I think they actually might. I think they played today.
Let's see. Trying to find.
Yeah, I think they played this afternoon. I think A&M and Notre Dame played this afternoon. The winner of that's going to have to go beat Oklahoma twice, which I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's look up some of the way. I think Notre Dame won. I'm not sure.
Nope, A&M beat them 5-1.
I just saw that 5-1. So
yeah, so Notre Dame has been eliminated, and A&M will go on to play Oklahoma in. They got to beat them twice. They play Wednesday. They play tomorrow.
Then you got Ole Miss, and I think the winner of Arkansas and Auburn.
Yes.
Which they're playing right now. Arkansas is up 1-0 over Auburn. Which Auburn's a 14th seed, and Arkansas is not even ranked there. So
yeah, Oklahoma's not even ranked, and A&M's a 5 seed. So
anything can happen in baseball. So
yes.
All right, Craig. Well, that seems to be about it. We've had more to talk about than I originally thought. As it is a slow part of sports, unfortunately for us. We got some things in the works, some different kind of segments we're going to get into, and obviously you'll know when it's on the show. But some things we need to talk about, Craig, for the show. Hopefully get Jeff on Friday so we can have all of us on here. But other than that is all we got. I'm interested to see when they're gonna. When is the year suspension coming down? It's got to be a year.
It's got to be the year, and it's got to be the end of the week. By the end of the week, I mean, training camps are starting to go in and starting to be full blown, and they got to give whoever is going to be the quarterback of Cleveland a fair shot to learn the offense and get acclimated with his guys and give Cleveland a fair shot to replace him. So I believe that probably, the whole Friday 3:00 dump the headline, type deal.
So no one can talk about it during the day, and it goes over.
It goes over the weekend, and they hope people forget about it. And
well, hey, if that happens, we will be here on the Outspoken Sportscast to talk about that.
So I don't know. I just hope that they get it right. I hope that they present all the information the right way, and they get it right, and that he pays for what he did, because you can't go do what he did and get away with it. And 66 women in 17 days, 17 months. That to me is just it's insane. And whether or not you did anything illegal, just the fact that you had 66 women in 17 days needs some investigation in itself. That in itself, and then the things you hear that he did during those therapy sessions, it's just unheard of. It's unheard of. It's uncalled for, and he needs to pay the ultimate penalty.
You're correct. No arguments there with that one, Craig.
We got the NBA draft Thursday night. So you're going to see a lot of moving and shaking leading up to it, and the night of the draft. And the NBA does it so weird. Is even if you don't have the pick, like you've got to get on the phone and call. There's no swapping picks. It's like we just pick the guy that you want, and we hold on to him, and then we work it out later. So the Mavericks are going to make draft picks, even though they traded the one to Houston. The Mavs are going to make the pick, but they're going to make it for Houston's going to call them and go, "Hey, pick this guy." And so it's super weird how they do
They'll
it.
come out and have a Mavericks hat on, and you'll see him playing in Houston.
Yeah. So it's
dumb.
Super weird how the NBA does it.
The lottery's dumb. The way they do the lottery.
Well, they've done it better this year by giving the top three teams the same number of chances, and you know.
Yeah, it's gotten better, but it's still
able to be manipulated. You know, when you do ping pong balls behind a closed door and nobody could see it, that's never a good thing. So.
No, it's definitely not. I like the way the draft. The way I think they all should all do it is the NFL way, where the crappiest team gets the first pick, and you go in order. And I think that's the fair way to do it. And but yeah, I've never been a fan of that of the NBA's way they do it. But all right, guys, well, that's our episode today. Talks on Tuesday 20 settled edition here, episode 129. Look, guys, we are live streaming to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. We are all podcast platforms. So if you don't want to come on here and watch our interact with our show, as you can do it on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can chat with us.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends, family, share it around. If you're a woman that loves sports, great. If you're not a woman that loves sports, but you find the show and you go, "Hey, my husband likes sports," or "My boyfriend likes sports," or whatever, share us along, guys. We're on every podcast platform, every major podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google. We're on everywhere, so you can find us no matter what. We love to talk sports, let you in a little bit on our lives, and go from there. So, been a good show there, Craig. We got another show on Friday. Hopefully have all three of us on. It's Brian, Jeff, and Craig. We're usually the guys that are on here, and we just love doing this. But hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys like it. And God bless. And let's get through the rest of this long week already. It seems like a long week.
Friday yet?
Yeah. Is it Friday yet? Oh, let's not forget, Craig. What's in your locker there, good sir?
Getting through the rest of this week.
Yeah.
This heat is insane. You got to work Saturday, so really not much of anything. Just gonna recover from the week and try to deal. Still got another 10, 12 days without the kid being home in Florida. So just enjoying some time and taking what little time I get off work and enjoying it the best I can. So right now though, man, just battling this heat. It looks like it's going to be 103 or 104 plus the next week and a half. So and I think it's only going to get worse come July and August. So being the fact that we work out in it, just trying to battle it and stay above it and get through it. But yep. Yeah. So what about you?
Well, same boat there. You know, today it's funny because today is the first official day of summer. I said, well, someone should have told Texas that 2 weeks ago because it's already in triple digits then. And if it's this hot, usually for you guys that aren't in Texas or don't know about Texas weather, usually it doesn't get this hot until the end of July, mid-July, August area. It's it was hot 2 weeks ago in the triple digits, and it just sucks. But nothing that I get. They say you get used to it, but it's just a beating every year.
Yeah.
It's a beating every year. Well, just work. We're in Austin's route this week, unfortunately. And then I got to work Saturday, and then we got Eric's party on Saturday. So looking forward to that, to hang out with the guys. He's going to cook a brisket, play some cornhole out in the 104-degree heat, and have some fun there. My nephew is having a baptism. He's getting baptized Sunday, so I'll be over in Mansfield Sunday afternoon to be a part of that. And then back to work on Monday. So fun stuff. But that's all we got here for you guys. Remember, God bless, and keep it outspoken.